AEW and Kenny Omega send Will Ospreay a cease and desist order over his latest t-shirt. More changes to NXT UK Stars names on NXT 2.0. Plus, the fallout from a fantastic weekend of British wrestling, including TNT Extremes, Project X, OTTs, Poetry Slam, RevPro UK's Summer Sizzler 2022, and Progresses 24/7, as well as a look ahead to ICW's Shug's House Party 7. Hello and welcome to TNT's A Great British Wrestling podcast for Great British Wrestling. I am the Great British Attacker, Mr. Andrew Moore, Andy to Mose, here by myself, just due to timing conflicts. We could not get a arranged time to sit down together. I've got a huge show to talk about. There's so much news from abroad as well as the UK. I'm going to try and get through that. I say big weekend for British wrestling. Just passed 4 huge shows from, 4 of the biggest companies in UK wrestling. Plus, of course, then you got ICW next week. I was out enjoying last weekend's wrestling. I was at TNT Project X. I was also at RevPro UK's Summer Sizzler. So first off, starting off, I'm going to talk about the new merch. Of course, on my shows, I always try to pick up some new merch. So whilst at TNT Extreme, you may be able to see just up there next to my bobbleheads and signed maggot photo is a CPF hat that I got from Danny Black on the show. I did promise him I'd show it off, as well as a new Will Ospreay t-shirt. Well, actually, technically it's an old Will Ospreay t-shirt. This is Ariel Assassin design, but it was fantastic. It was on offer at RevPro UK Summer Sizzler 2022, so I picked it up. It was the last one, thankfully, in my size. I also got this signed TNT Extreme Project X poster, which Jay gave to me personally, and I'm very grateful for that. Also, big shout out to Jay of TNT Extreme for the superb welcome he gave me for at Project X. It was absolutely outstanding service. He was just such a nice guy, and the words that he said to me about what we do for British wrestling really meant a lot, because we do put a lot of work into these shows. There's a lot of hours go into getting all the stories together and compiling it all for you guys. And sometimes you see the video numbers, they go up and down all the time, but you hear feedback like that from what Jay said to me, and it really does help motivate you to continue to go on and continue to do this. And so I really do thank Jay for everything he said to me on that weekend. That was very kind. You didn't have to say some of the things he said. I'm not going to say exactly what he said, but all I can say is he gave me some very, very kind words, and really, really appreciated it, because as I say, a lot of hard work goes into these. Speaking of which, why don't you like, subscribe, do all the things you do we're supposed to do on a YouTube video? Leave me a comment, tell me how stupid I am, tell me how great I am, tell me how much you love British wrestling, tell me what shows you're going to. I want to know. We want to make this an interactive show as much as possible. If there are subjects that you want us to talk about, let us know. Now, I guess with that said, I'm just going to get down to it. Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay. The saga continues, because Kenny Omega and AEW sent apparently a cease and desist order relating to Will Ospreay's newest t-shirt design that was being sold through Pro Wrestling Tees. The design featured Will Ospreay delivering Kenny Omega's patented one-wing angel. On the back, it read, "Better than the best bout machine." The actual image of Ospreay delivering a one-wing angel actually comes from Mad Kurt, RevPro UK, live in London 33, where Will Ospreay used the one-wing angel and then made Mad Kurt kick out before throwing a fake tantrum. I thought it was hilarious. I know some people didn't particularly like it. Even Kenny Omega got caught wind of the clip. He literally said, "I don't get it." Also pretty childish. Great execution though. Will Ospreay, of course, did respond to this quite simply. If you're Oh, I'm not monetized. If you're a cunt to me, I can be a bigger one to you, and that's just a life rule. But regarding the cease and desist order, Will Ospreay certainly had a lot to say on a video that he released in Twitter. Let's try to go through this. I have just exposed Kenny as an insecure little bitch, said Will Ospreay. It was fine for those guys throwing up the too sweet and got hit with the cease and desist. They continued to poke the bear. When it comes to me doing it, you guys, you have a problem with it. It's because Kenny is a miserable little prick. He takes it out on me because I'm actually having fun with my life and I'm doing things he's done plus more. You're also pissed off because the vision you had for AEW has now turned into something you don't like. People are starting to get in the NXT vibes about the joint, or maybe it's because the Joshi girls aren't getting the TV time, but the 205 Live guys are. Now the shoe is on the other foot. You've turned into one of the big boys trying to look down on the little guys. I'm going to keep poking that fucking bear. I just exposed Kenny Omega as everything I've been saying, a little fucking cunt. Have a good day, Kenny, you fucking prick. Wow. That was a comment, wasn't it? This all does technically spark back to comments made by Kenny Omega. This was regarding decline of NJPW product during the pandemic, as well as recent comments made by Kenny Omega. I think it was on Fightful regarding Will Ospreay. I think the actual tagline was something like, he's really good at moves and got 20 5-star matches that nobody remembers. So look, here's my 2 cents on this. Will Ospreay's technically right. Young Kenny Omega, probably more the Young Bucks than say Kenny Omega. They really made a name for themselves, throwing up the too sweets, doing the Degeneration X suck it. They did, as it mentioned in the quote, they did get hit with a cease and desist of their own about the too sweet, and we remember how much fuss they kicked off about that. So it is kind of, Will Ospreay's kind of right. He's kind of exposing Kenny Omega for being a bit of a hypocrite a little bit. I mean, who is my personal opinion? Who's Kenny Omega to talk about some of the childish things he's done when he worked for DDT? And I'm not saying anything bad about DDT, but there's a lot of childishness that does come from DDT. So I'm not sure where he's really coming out trying to say he's childish. Yes, I get Kenny Omega's 40 now. And I do think it is a bit of jealousy from Kenny Omega to Will Ospreay. The two have exactly as many Dave Meltzer 5 stars. And remember, opinions, all wrestling opinions, it doesn't matter. Your opinion matters just as much as Dave Meltzer's. If you don't like something, that's fine. That is your opinion. Just using Dave Meltzer's as the example, he is supposedly, the number one judge of wrestling. But again, as I say, just his opinion means as much as you want it to, or as little to as you do. Kenny Omega saying that he disagrees with Meltzer's opinion of Ospreay. He said that the match, he would only give the matches 3.5 stars. So there is a lot to bite there, and I can understand why Will is a little bit frustrated. You do talk about the fact that when this kind of all started was because Will Ospreay said that Kenny Omega was being two-faced. That Kenny Omega took him to one side at one point and was like, "You're the guy, you're going to be the top," and then went and did an interview where he said not so pleasant things, and he just thinks that Kenny Omega is a bit of a snake. And as I say, I think that the cease and desist thing is extremely funny. As you say, you have to remember the past and how Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks really rose to fame. So who are they really to say anything about what Will Ospreay is doing? I also thought the spot with Mecca was absolutely hilarious. I know a lot of people just saw the spot. I think you should go and watch the match because the match is bloody good. It's a really good match. Mecca, she really does, give it to Willis on a few occasions. So definitely go watch that on the Rev Pro UK, Rev Pro on demand, 2-week free trial. It's well worth it to see that match. And Will Ospreay is the number one heel in the business right now. He is the number one guy in wrestling right now. I'm sorry, I don't think there is anybody out there who is performing as weekly, as many great matches as he's having. Doesn't matter who his opponent is, he's going to have a great match, and that's an incredible thing to be able to do. So yeah, my personal opinion, I think Will Ospreay is absolutely right, and I think Kenny Omega is just a little bit jealous of Will Ospreay, because Will Ospreay has achieved most of the things Kenny Omega took, but is 10 years younger and still, well, I think he's 10 years younger than Kenny Omega, and he's already accomplished just as much, if not more already. So I think there is a little bit of a niggle towards how Will Ospreay is doing and the plaudits he is getting from Wrestling Press. So there you go. That's mine. Anyway, let's move on to NXT 2.0. Bear with me. So again, they have changed the names of NXT UK Superstars. I know Kaylee Ray became Alba Fry a few months back, and Jordan Devlin has been renamed JD McDonough or something. But the Grizzled Young Veterans, who have been around for a while on NXT and NXT 2.0, they've had their name changed. They are joining a group called the Dyad under, is it Gacy? I think it's Gacy. Yeah. But James Drake is now Jagger Reed, and Zach Gibson is Rip Fowler. Yes, you heard that. Jagger Reed and Rip Fowler. And apparently they've got one weird contact in each eye, which I don't really have any idea what that's about. But it's just weird. They've been around for a while. You know, Grizzled Young Veterans are one of the best tag teams in the world. Don't care what you can argue me with that in the comments. Really, really, you know, between them and Pretty Deadly, I'd put those two teams up against FDR, the Young Bucks, any day of the week. I think they're just phenomenal tag teams. And it's just the way it is. And it's hopefully we'll see some sort of get a push tag team title run. We need them on the main roster. They both deserve to be on the main roster by now. And let's just see where, I guess, the old WWE fan, let's just see where it goes. Now, my real problem with the whole name change and things is A-Kid is apparently now Axiom, a Power Ranger, the Luchador. You know, I wrote an article a while back. It was literally called How A-Kid Could Be WWE's Next Bryan Danielson, or now Daniel Bryan. Well, oh, sorry, I said, yeah, the next Daniel Bryan for the WWE due to his natural ability, his fantastic technical wrestling, negates any size factor, slightly a bit more athletic, and just, again, somebody who's having great matches week in. Every time he stepped in the ring on NXT UK, A-Kid was always the star of the show. And it's a shame that they've decided to stick him in a mask and make him some Power Ranger luchador. And as you can tell, I don't like it. I really don't. I think it's absolutely terrible. I think it's the worst thing you probably could have done to poor A-Kid, who has all the potential in the world to be one of the best wrestlers in the world, easily. And this is silly. I just think he looks silly. And you know, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Tell me what you think of these name changes. Tell me what you think of Jagger Reed and Rip Fowler and the Power Ranger Axiom, because I think it's all ridiculous, and we would love to know your thoughts. let's go on to some fallout from this amazing weekend. As I said, I was at TNT Extreme Project X. It was fantastic. We had a new champion crowned, a new Ultra X champion crowned on the day. We had the Project X, obviously the Ultimate X in the UK for the first time in over 10 years. Absolute amazing. I can't go through all of these matches one by one. There are just two, because I would literally just be saying the same thing. These two young men who put on an absolute clinic of fantastic wrestling and amazing high spots. Two fantastic talents that just delivered each and every time they got into that ring. So it's so hard to just pick out like the individuals, but let me try and go through this. So there was a VIP dark match, Leighton Buzzard versus LJ Cleary. Two young men, great match. Project X qualifying match, Nico Angelo defeated Kid Lycos 2. Man like Reese defeated Danny Black. Leon Slater defeated Callum Newman. Just Joe Lando then defeated Maverick Mayhew. We got the special attraction match where Gene Money defeated Scott Garland. Then we had the Ultra X Championship match between Mark Haskins, Robbie X, and Scotty Rourke, which Mark Haskins, as champion, actually managed to come out on top. But then Tom Felwell came in and he cashed in his level up briefcase. This was brilliant. I did not see this coming. I really didn't think it'd be cashing in on this title on this day. I was literally getting a beer as it was happening, so I can't tell you exactly how it happened. But Tom Felwell eventually pinned Mark Haskins to become the new Ultra X champion. Then it was the Ultra X, the Project X final. Nico Angelo, Leon Slater, Man Like Doris, Just Joe Lando. In the end, it was Nico Angelo who came out on top. That was fantastic. This show was really lots of fun. It did exactly what it set out to do, and that was to highlight the amazing British cruiserweights division. And that's exactly what we got. But I'll tell you what, there was plenty of exciting actions with lots of flips and dives, yet no flipping or dive was the same, with the competitors doing their best to keep each match original. So we never saw the same suicide dive. We never saw the same corner moonsault, the same satellite DDT. Each match presented different high spots, different wrestling spots, and fair play to these young lads who were able to put all of this together. They're just great matches. Narrowing it down to the best match of the night would be extremely difficult because it was a tough to pick between Leon Slater and Callum Newman, or just Joe Lando and Maverick Mayhew. I eventually gave the nod to Lando and Mayhew here. I really thought they put on just an absolute clinic, great technical wrestling, great hold for hold spots, then some insane high spots, including what I called the sickest flip of the day, which was just Joe Lando hitting a avalanche imploding Dragon Rana, apparently is what it was called. It was bloody good. It was bloody sick, I tell you that. And then, of course, there was the full stand-in Poison Rana avalanche again from... it was... Jesus, what can I say? Then, okay, the special attraction match, that was a lot of fun. It brought something completely different to the show. Lots of entertainment, lots of chanting, and then lots of dancing at the end. Although Man Like Doris and Danny Black also had a bit of a dance-off before their match. The Ultra X match, 3 competitors, really just amazing. Scotty Rourke, Mark Haskins, Robbie X. We're talking about 3 different generations of amazing junior heavyweight competitors. And Tom Farewell, as I say, coming out. What a moment for the young lad. The place just absolutely popped as Farewell got the pin. It was just amazing. Then the Ultimate X. Wow, just Nico Angelo is my MVP for the show because he injured himself in the first match, yet he would go on to actually pick on and win Project X, which was fantastic for me because I literally said that that is exactly what happened. It literally, we gave some predictions for this, both myself, Daniel, and actually, sorry, Stephen Salem, the Beat Tribal Treat for the Big Fat Geeks. We all gave our picks for this show, and it came down to Daniel Allen scored none. Literally didn't score in all 8 matches. I got 5 for 8, and Steve, Tribal Chief of the Big Fat Geeks, got 2 for 7. So, champion. Anyway, look, what's to come next for TNT Extreme? This week, actually, Sunday, TNT Ignition, all eyes on me. Cam Solis defends his Ignition Championship against Shreddy. Gia Adams versus Aurora Tevez. 2-Bit versus Sonna Durson, Tom Farewell, and MVK Falcabius versus Sam Bailey and JJ Webb of the Mank Union. Then Alexis Falcon will be defending her TNT Extreme Women's Championship against Lana Austin. You also have Tate Mayfair's looking to carry on his undefeated streak in TNT Ignition against Light Diffuse Dynamite Lee. That's a great little card. Cam Solis versus Shreddy should be an absolute banger of a match. I'm always impressed with MVK Falcabius, and not just because I like to say his name. Plus, Tom Farewell is a fantastic young competitor. But 2-Bit versus Sonna Durst, and this is going to be a standout match. This is going to be the one to watch for me. I hope Tate Mayfair continues his undefeated streak. I'm sure he will. Tateness is greatness. And Aurora Tevez actually replacing the Ava in the match, I believe, picked up an injury. I look forward to this little dynamo. She is amazing in the ring. Her and Jean Adams are going to put on a fantastic big woman, little woman match. And I'm really, really looking forward to that. You got Flawless Victory after that, and that is on the 24th of August. We've literally just had the 3rd entrant for the tournament, which is Jay Joshua of the Dead Sad Boys. Jay Joshua is an absolute beast. He's got an amateur wrestling background. I mean, he could qualify the British Commonwealth Games. He's also got a black belt in karate. He is a real threat. Of course, Tristan Archer and Brendan White have been the other 2 names that have entered Flawless Victory, an 8-man knockout or submission tournament with a roped chain wrapped arena. They've got the Summer Explosion, which follows that on 25th of August. No news for that. Of course, Shaman and A versus Visage for the chance to face Effie at TNT Extreme versus GCW. And that will be as part of the TNT Extreme GCW Weekender, which is on the 15th to the 17th of September in Liverpool. Speaking of that weekender, Tony Deppen is the latest name to have been announced for GCW's Liverpool. That's on the 16th of September because there's TNT Extreme show on the 15th, GCW show on the 16th, and then TNT Extreme versus GCW on the 17th. So Tony Deppen will be joining the already announced Joey Janela, Blake Christian, Alex Colon, Ali Catch, Cole Radrick, Jordan Oliver, Effie, and John Wayne Murdoch. Shout out, I'm just going to shout out right now, Just Joe Lando, of course. He is going to be facing Speedball Mike Bailey on the GCW Homecoming Weekender, which I believe is in August sometime. I can tell you that we will be speaking to Joe Lando ahead of his scheduled flyout to the United States of America for his US bookings, including, as I say, the homecoming. So look forward to that. Right. Let's talk some OTT over in Ireland. My friend Mark O'Brien from Body Slam, a contributor to Body Slam, like myself. So he was able to provide me some feedback on OTT's Poetry Slam. Oh, sorry, before I go on, TNT Extreme Project X, I gave 4 sugars out of 5. So OTT's Poetry Slam. I've had to condense the notes because I don't have time to read them all. But OTT Poetry Slam. Scotty Too Hottie defeated Renzo Rose. So much fun to start the show. There you go. Charlie Sterling defeated Robbie X, both technical and physical strikers. Great pace at the start. Robbie X is very, very athletic, very impressive. Mother of God, the chops in this match. Great wrestling match. And Charlie Sterling came out on top. The Social Elite, there was, I don't know who they are, but apparently there was a segment, which was Paul Tracy and crew. This was interrupted by the Flat Lads, Paddy M and Liamo. This led to a 2-on-2 match with Sean McGuinness and the other lad. Fun and basic stuff, shenanigans. Tracy was clearly the most experienced and comfortable of anyone. Great fun to watch him. Liamo looking a lot better than Belfast. Tracy came with a cane during the ref distraction to cause the win. It was a fun match. Velocities defeated Aussie Open to become the Kings of the North to become the new OTT tag team champions. Good on them. Love the King of the North entrance so much. Proper fucking men. Velocities from Australia out next. Aussie Open are fucking class. Velocities extremely impressive. Aussie Open are massive. Lots of flips on the Velocities, back and forth between the two Aussie teams. It's all built to a very hot tag, smooth as from both teams. And as I say, the Velocities came out on top. Couldn't take your eyes off this for a second. Wow, the Velocities wins. That was class. So wow. Sounds like a great match. Be Cool defeats Sammy D, which was a title versus career match. Sammy D putting his title on the line. Be Cool putting his championship, his career on the line. This was a funny promo from Be Cool to start the beforehand. Sammy the villain, Snake Man out next. Very evil man. Daddy's home stick. Crowd very into this. Sammy very early with super kick. He's a proper heel. Be Cool and Sammy Dash was insanity. More bells and whistles than I ever thought possible. Numerous ref bumps, false finishes. Joe Cabri is the ref. I believe Joe Cabri is the owner of OTT, and eventually Cabri had to call the match as Be Cool had Sammy locked in a choke. Then Jay defeated Martina and Speedball, I believe becoming the new gender fluid championship. Great buzz for this match. Martina has the best music in wrestling, lots of one-upmanship and each doing the same move. Eventually Just Jay and Session Moth hits just eventually Jay hits Session Moth. There are lots of tope teasers, but it was a 450 for Jay to Session Moth for Jay to pick up the win. Good match. Amari defeats Haskins to become the new OTT champion. A lot of head and neck stomps, bottom roll slingshot. Poor fella getting battered. Vicky Haskins very good on the outside. Haskins is an excellent villain. A lot of Amari fighting back from underneath. Amari hit a flatliner out of nowhere to get the free and new OTT champion. Wow. He gave that show 4 sugars. So they've got 4 shows coming up soon, I believe. Starting with Wrestling Lives Here. That's in Dublin on the 19th of August. should be a great show. It's going to set to feature Amari, Tony Depp, and the Velocities. Alexis Falcon looks to be making her debut. Big Damo returns. Cara Noir makes his return. Session Moth is going to be in action. So is Francesco Kira. You also then have Unstoppable, Road to the 8th Year. This is on the 21st of August in Belfast at the Europa. Kings of North in action. Adam Maxted will be back in action. Debbie Keitel, Cara Noir, Session Moth, and more. Then it is the 8th year anniversary. They've got 2 shows booked for that. First show on Friday, the 28th of October. That is in Wolverhampton. I believe they're making their debut in Wolverhampton. Dan Maloney will be in action. So will Kid Lycos, Warhorse, Gangrel, and Matt Cardona, as well, of course, Mark Haskins. The same for the second show, which is on the 29th of October at the National Stadium in Dublin. Again, Gangrel will be there, Warhorse will be there, Matt Cardona, Session Moth, Mark Haskins, Debbie Keitel, and more. Lots of good stuff coming up for OTT. Right, I was at Rev Pro UK Summer Sizzler, as I mentioned. That is exactly where I got my new Will Ospreay t-shirt from. First of all, Luke Jacobs is the new Cruiserweight champion. He brought Michael Oku's record-breaking Rev Pro Cruiserweight Championship run to an end in front of a Manchester crowd. It was bloody awesome. Just so bloody awesome. And then, of course, Kip Sabian confronts Pac, which was, again, completely out of left field. Did not see that coming. Suddenly, the whole crowd was like, oh, what's going on? What's going on? And then you can see down at the bottom, there he is, box on his head, just staring down Pac. It was absolutely brilliant. Anyway, let's get this off and running. First of all, it was a 6-man scramble match for the chance to face Pac for the AEW All Atlantic Championship in the main event, obviously later in the show. Then this was just phenomenal. Great 6-man. Connor Mills, Will Cruz, RKJ, Robbie X, Callum Newman, Man Like Baris. Connor Mills picked up the victory. At one point, Will Cruz and RKJ fought off to the back, so I'm sure there's going to be more RKJ Will Cruz just to keep RKJ busy for a little while. I really expected Robbie X to come out here on top, but I was absolutely wrong. Connor Mills picked up, very deserving, actually. I've always rated Connor Mills. I think he's just a phenomenal talent. I've always thought he's been overlooked for so long, as Michael Oku takes up so much of the spotlight. Not Michael Oku's fault. Very charismatic dude. And but I'll tell you more about that in a little while. This was just fantastic. My MVP for this match, though, Callum Newman. I think he stood out so much in this. Was just incredible. Young competitor. One of the best young competitors right now in the UK is Callum Newman, and absolutely deserving of my MVP for that match. Yoda Tsuji defeated Shota Umino. This was really good, but it was also really long. I did not think the match would go that long, and it did, and it felt long, to be honest. It was a good match. I've got nothing wrong with the actual match overall. Both really put in a shift, and this was a great win, a fantastic win for Yota Tsuji, now officially part of the Legion, now officially aligned with Gideon Gray. I've been loving the whole storyline. I was hoping Umino would go heel as well, and there'd be a new faction forming, but doesn't matter. Yoda Tsuji picked up the win, very deserving, as I say, but a bit too long. Oh, by the way, on the OTT show, Mark O'Brien scored with 4 sugars. Then Sunshine Machine defeated Lycos Gym to retain their Rev Pro UK Tag Team Championships. This was really good. Typical Sunshine Machine Lycos match. We've seen it quite a few times now. Phenomenal talents. Put it on every time they're in the ring. And it was just another Lycos Gym and Sunshine Machine match. I think Kid Lycos picked up an injury because he left the ring very, very quickly. And I think he did have to pull out. The Progress Show and was replaced by Kid Lycos too. Anyway, Francisco and Akira defeated Speedball, Mike Bailey. And my God, how good was this match? Definitely, yeah, it's going to be my match of the night for this show. Francisco Akira and Mike Bailey really did kick the crap out of each other. Went a little long, but great win for Akira. Great outing for Speedball Mike Bailey, though, as well. There was the intermission. Then there was the second half. Alex Windsor defeated Alexis Falcon to retain her women's championship. This was a short, one of the shorter matches of the night. It was a very good match. Alex Windsor and Alexis Falcon showed the world why they are two of the best in the UK right now. Luke Jacobs defeated Michael Oku, as I mentioned earlier, becoming the new cruiserweight champion. I'm not surprised they did this because, wow, Michael Oku got booed out the building by the Manchester fans, something he's certainly not been used to in a RevPro UK ring. The Manchester crowd was heavy in favor of Luke Jacobs. I am loosely surprised we didn't see a side note said if Luke Jacobs loses, we riot. But, you know, great match. Absolutely brilliant match. In fact, you know what? I'm changing my MVP, my match of the night show. Sorry, Francisco Aquino, Speedball, Mike Bailey. I completely. Luke Jacobs and Michael Oku was just phenomenal. Velocities versus Aussie Open. This was very long again. I've got nothing against Velocities. They are a really good tag team. They do a lot of incredible, phenomenal moves. I just don't buy them against Aussie Open because they are quite clearly a junior heavyweight tag team. If there was no way Andy would book either of these guys to defeat Kyle Fletcher or Mark Davis in heavyweight matches, singles matches. I don't think they should be booked to lose a singles match against us. Anyway, the Velocities came out as the Great British Tag winners. I say this was really good. I'm not gonna deny it. I'm just gonna say it takes me out a little bit. I kind of just don't. I find it hard to buy it. I think they are quite clearly a junior heavyweight team. There's no way if this was an NJPW ring, there's no way that they would defeat the Aussie Open. Then it was the main event, Pac versus Connor Mills. Slightly shorter than I expected. Connor Mills gave a great showing for himself, though, and at the end of the day, just came up short. But problem is with the match is nobody's probably talking about how good Connor Mills was in that match. They're all talking about the fact that Kip Sabian showed up and confronted Pac. Hopefully, this could be the first big title defense for Pac on AEW Dynamite. But overall, what can I say? It was fantastic. I'm going to have to give it 4 sugars. And yeah, there we go. What's next for them? You've got Live in London, 64 on the 7th of August. No card names and name or card announced yet. You've got Live in Southampton on the 14th of August. Again, no names or cards have been announced yet. Then, of course, there is the anniversary show on the 20th and 21st of August. I believe RKJ will be facing Will Ospreay for the British RevPro UK Undisputed Heavyweight Championship. But at the same time, RKJ must put his RevPro UK career on the line. Huge implications for that match. Gonna be good. Gonna be really good at the end of the day. Now, no one was actually at Progress 24/7 for that, but we do have the results for the night, and of course we've got the fallout from everything that happened. Just have to bear with me 1 second so I can get it up because I forgot to put it up already. Bad Andy, terrible. This is not going as well as I would have hoped. Here we go. It's coming. So Sunshine Machine defeated RKJ and Leon Slater to retain their tag team championships in their first defense. Maggot defeated Charles Crowley. I saw a fantastic picture of the fact that Maggot had stolen Charles Crowley's gear. Brilliant photo. Nick Wayne defeated Robbie X. Lana Austin and Eliza Alexander defeated Raven Creed and Alexis Falcon. Progress World Championship match, Chris Ridgway defeated Dean Allmark. In the Progress Women's Championship match, Kanji defeated Laura Di Matteo. So each of the champions had a successful defense on their first outing at Progress 24/7. Then, of course, it was the Thunder Bastard match, which Spike Jaffe won, defeating Dan Maloney, Gene Money, Danny Black, Manly Doris, Axel Tiska, and Kid Lycos too. There were, of course, shenanigans in place. It is, after all, Spike Ray with regards to Dan Maloney. So I don't expect Spike Trevay to cash in quite yet. So what the fallout from this show, of course, Chris Ridgway, Kanji Sunshine Machine all successfully retained their championships on the first time of asking. Kanji may have come away with the victory in her championship match, but she was actually assaulted by her opponent following the match, which Laura Di Matteo and Progress Management have set another match for their Sheffield show, Copperhead, part of the Deadly Viper Tour, which is on the 13th of August. So Laura Di Matteo will once again challenge Kanji. Young Nick Wayne picked up a victory in his first match in the UK and Europe, defeating one of the best junior heavyweights in the UK. Do I agree with this? Probably not, but I heard it was a phenomenal match. Robbie X replaced Swerve Strickland in the last minute, who was unfortunately unable to make the show due to travel disruptions. There were travel disruptions on the fact that on Nick Wayne's flight home. I know there are stories out there. I'd definitely go check that out. As I say, Spike Trevay winning the Thunder Bastard match does mean he is technically the new #1 contender. I believe they have given him a key. So, speaking of Spike, he was not happy with the fact that Tom Dawkins was not able to make the show, made the point to revel in more of Dawkins' misery, calling the former Cara Noir unprofessional. Dawkins was scheduled to face LK Messinger, who ended up facing Big Guns Joe. Big Guns Joe picked up the victory, bringing LK Messinger's current losing streak into double figures. Lana Austin finally got one over on Raven Creed following many failed attempts over the last few weeks. As I say, I can't give an actual review of it. I haven't seen it yet. I will do when it is available on demand and on the WWE Network. So what's next? Progress, they kick off their Deadly Viper Tour on the 13th of August in Sheffield with a Copperhead show following. Oh, no, sorry. Sheffield show is Copperhead. This is followed by Cottonmouth on the 14th of August in Newcastle. The tag team titles will be on the line at Copperhead, and Sunshine Machine defend the titles against the Greedy Souls. Danny Jones and Brendan White, great tag team. A huge six-man tag match has been set for Cottonmouth as Northwest Strong team of Chris Ridgway, Luke Jacobs, and Hayata face the 0121 team of Dan Maloney, Manly Doris, Leon Slater. That's going to be a fantastic match. That's going to be in Newcastle. I'm going to be at that show and I'm going to enjoy that match. Very much so. Actually returned to the Electric Ballroom on the 28th of August with Chapter 139. Warriors come out and play. Santos Jr. will make his return to action in our Progress ring, having previously returned as an enforcer at the Atlas tournament. Great to see Santos Jr. back, Walter's favorite wrestler, of course. Ricky Shane Page is the first name to be announced for Progress when they come to Wales for Wrestling Gulf Madrid in that order. Then back to the Electric Ballroom for Chapter 141, Handshakes and Cheeseburgers, where Effie will be making his debut at that show. Which is on. Sorry, I don't have the date for that one. Terrible. I'm just going to have to move on. Do apologize. I don't have the date for that. On the the 27th of September, Progress will be at the Dome in Tufnell Park with Return of the Fly. Chris Brooks will be in action. It is ICW's In Your Hoose 7 this Friday and Saturday. It's a 2-night show. We have the full card here for you. ICW In Your Hoose 7, night 1. Wolfgang versus Daz Black is a VIP dark match to get there early for that one. Chris Bungard faces Thatcher Wright. Mark Haskins versus Stevie James in a 2 out of 3 falls. Aaron Echo versus Levi. The Young Team, which is Jimmy Pierce and Logan Smith, fates the KOE, King Killer and Kai Williams King. Leighton Buzzard versus BT Gunn in a Asylum Insanity match. Shekel Sham will face Martin Kirby, and Molly Spartan puts her women's championship on the line against Session Moth Martina. Then there's a number 1 contender match for the 0G Championship. LJ Cleary versus Luke Cairo versus Theodorus. Some really great matches there. Shekel Sham versus Martin Kirby will be really great to watch. Molly Spartan versus Session Moth. That is going to be an absolute banger, as will be Mark Haskins versus Stevie James. But Wolfgang versus Daz Black on the VIP Dark. What a way to get people into the show early. Moving on to night 2, Lana Austin will face Harley Hudson in the VIP match. You've got Sakib Ali versus Jackie Polo. Charlie Vice and Ian Skinner versus Grado and Ravy Davey, or D-Generation Greggs. Jason Reed versus Andy Wild. This has been a storyline I've been very much interested in. That should be a great match. Kings of the North will face Luking Sharp and Krieger. Should be a great match. Tag Team Championships will be on the line. Dylan Thorne defends the 0G Championship against Daz Black. Kez Evans defends the ICW Heavyweight Championship against Jack Jester. Should be a great, absolute fantastic show. I've got some further roundup news from around the scene. Try and get through this as quickly as I possibly can. Kicking things off, UKPW Summer Jam in Chatham on this Friday. Connor Mills will challenge Danny Black for the Interregional Championship. You know that's going to be a great match, Connor Mills versus Danny Black. Then on Sunday the 31st of July at UKPW's Battle of the Bay, Hearn Bay, the Interregional Champion, whoever it may be, Connor Mills or Danny Black, will face Maverick Mayhew. Whoever faces Maverick Mayhew, Danny Black, if it's the CPF boys, your close personal friends, you know that's going to be a great match. Connor Mills, Maverick Mayhew, again, it will be a phenomenal match. Whichever way this goes, I would get over and see those shows if you can. Summer Jam in Chatham and Battle of the Bay, Hearn Bay. Go check that out. Discovery Wrestling. So the Pure Championship will be on the line. The Wrestle Carnival Pure Championship, that is. Chris Ridgway versus Ian Skinner. The match was announced a couple of weeks ago, but it has just been announced that the match will now be a Pure Championship match. Congratulations, Ian Skinner. I know he is dying for that match. Other matches include She-Wolves versus Sesh Money, which is Session with Martina and G Money. The Fair City Saints versus the Kings of the North. Caleb Valhalla versus Will Cruz in a big slappy meaty match. And Jack Morris will be in action, as will champion Joe Hendry. Kamikaze Pro Wrestling. George Lydon will defend his Kamikaze Live Championship against Luke Douglas for the first time at Kamikaze Live 28 on the 14th of August in Birmingham. Pro Wrestling Chaos, they're coming off the back of another sold-out show. They let the Chaos Generator roll as Pro Wrestling Chaos signature event returns to the King's Oaks on the 24th of September in Bristol. So Danny Jones, Charlie Sutton, and Tate Mayfair are the only ones that have been named and will be in action. The final fighter entering the Grand Prix tournament is Kev Lee for Senshi Kingdom. I'm really looking forward to this. He's joining Lewis Johnson, Kick-Ass Ian Skinner, and the babyface Pitbull Sam Smitten. Each competitor will compete in 3 rounds in a total will compete in 3 matches in total in one night. Points are awarded for each match. For say KO or submission will get you 10 points. A referee stoppage 8 points. A count out will get you 7 points. A DQ victory 6 points. And if it comes to a time limit draw, both guys get 5 points. Really looking forward to this. This is part of essentially Kingdom's debut show on the 26th of August. As I say, Kev Lloyd joins Lewis Johnson, Kick-Ass Ian Skinner, and the babyface Pitbull Sam Smith and Downs. Should be really fun. I really wish I could have got over to that this month, but I can't. But I have exciting news of the fact that Kevin Lloyd, we will be having Kevin Lloyd on our show. We're going to be talking lots about Senshi Kingdom and, of course, his career so far, including competing for the likes of WXW Germany. British Wrestling Revolution have announced Underground 11 at the Casablanca Club in Grimsby. This is on the 19th of August. New BWR heavyweight champion RKJ will be in action, as will new women's champion Tonga. Plus, Matt Myers, Will Cruz, Lana Austin, 2-Bit, and Rob Drake. Resurgence Wrestling's Man Like DeReese will defend his Art House Championship at their Resurgence Rumble on the 6th of August. It is a triple threat match against Hari Singh and Kid Lycos. Speaking of the Resurgence Rumble, Tonga and Santos Jr. have now entered the fray. Plus, Chris Ridgway will be having an open challenge. I don't know who will be stupid enough to answer that challenge for Chris Ridgway, but he might put the Wrestle Carnival Pure Championship on the line. Soft Pro Wrestling have added one more match to their first, and it's another first time ever match. Tom Farewell will face Maverick Mayhew. That is at their debut show, First Reign, on the 1st of October. Great match. Yeah, really looking forward to that one. Maverick Mayhew versus Tom Farewell. Well, take my money. Unfortunately, I will be in Germany at the time, so you can't take my money. But get yourselves down to Soft Pro Wrestling for First Reign on the 1st of October. Wrestle Carnival. Pro Wrestling Noah Stinger teammates are set to collide at Wrestle Carnival's anniversary show on the 7th of August. Chris Ridgway faces Hayata. You can check out me doing the preview episode alongside Jonna's podcast for Wrestle Carnival, where I speak about the upcoming match in lots of detail. Let me just say, it is a great match, and I give a great review. Anyway, recently added to Wrestle Carnival's Charles Crowley's Fun House on the 11th of September is the match between Joseph Connors and Brady Phillips. Yeah, again, great match. United Wrestling have reminded everyone that Mark Haskins will face CJ Carter for United Wrestling Championship on day 6. Light it up. That is on the 21st of August in Oxford. Entertainment Wrestling Association. There will be hard-hitting match that you love, and it'll be the Wolf of Broad Street, Alexander Roth versus Niwa. This will be a war. It is in High Wycombe at British Bash on the 17th of September. Lancashire Wrestling Federation. It is nearly time for LWF's biggest event of the summer. On the 20th of August, it will be LWF Summer Smash 2022. Lana Austin will be teaming with Harley Hudson to face the LWF Women's Champion Jenny B and her partner Aurora Tevez. If Lana and Harley can pick up the victory, Lana will get another shot at the championship. Other matches include Lachlan Sharp versus Rob Drake. I think this rivalry dates back to the winter show that myself and Dan went to. Sorry, I can't remember the actual name of the show, but it was a great show. Really enjoyed it. LWF doing some great things over in Lancashire in Chorley. Sacrifice Pro Wrestling. The lads that is, will challenge Alex Echo and Ben Jones. The lads will challenge for the Saints of Sacrifice Championships, which is Sacrifice Tag Team belts. They face the current champions, Act 2, Jack Nuss and Benjamin Harlan. This is at Sacrifice Pros, the Naughty Window on the 7th of August, which is in Bedford. Roy Johnson and David Grant will be providing the big men slapping meat action on that night. Plus, it's Double Jeopardy 2 as Alexander Roth puts his SP briefcase on the line against Kyle Kingsley's Loserweight. Plus, great, just last story here to talk about two companies who have decided to work together, and that is Modern Nomad Pro Wrestling and No Mercy Wrestling. No Mercy and Modern Nomad Pro Wrestling will be working together to bring you a full day of Graps to Cardiff on the 21st of August. First with No Mercy show, Send It to the Internet at the Pit. And then you've got Modern Nomad Pro Wrestling, Frankenstein Monster at the Bingo Hall, Cardiff. Great to see British wrestling's promotions working together. We talk about it many times. It's much better for you guys to be out there supporting each other, helping each other, and making the scene the best scene it can possibly be. And I'm sure it'll get that way again. With that said, I just got one last thing to say, and that is, don't feed the trolls.